The year was 2005. Natural disasters dominated the news. Hurricane Katrina and other historic storms had people fighting for their lives. Israel and Palestine were at it again. And yet, the Hollywood Dream Factory was humming along. It had not yet become the ghost town that it is today. Hard-working crew members left for work in the dark and returned home when it was even darker. Stress and mental challenges came with the job. Entire worlds can be destroyed and rebuilt with the stroke of a writer's pen. A minor change can add hundreds of hours and millions of dollars to a show's budget. The director waves his hand, and 50 technicians go to work, weaving an illusion for entertainment in living rooms and darkened theaters. I've spent countless days and nights with my colleagues. The individuals behind the scenes exhibit exceptional talent and dedication. Some I remember fondly. Our happiness stemmed from our passion for our work. Yet not all the villains in Tinseltown grace the screen. I've met several in my career. They'll occasionally slip through the cracks. I remember meeting a most unhinged human that year. He resembled a volatile pressure cooker loaded with cocaine and steroids, rather than a human being. I won't disclose the name of the psycho. You'll soon understand why I'm being so cautious. Entertainment is different from other industries. From one day to the next, it isn't uncommon to work with people you've never met before. Amongst those people was an infamous technician who had been arrested for a violent attack on another crew member over a parking spot a year before. He was sentenced to probation and anger management. A straitjacket might have been a more appropriate thing for this guy. I remember him from another show. The crew had befriended a stray puppy who became our little mascot. The following day, he purposely brought a vicious attack dog that badly mauled the small pup. He feigned surprise as a powerful mastiff tore into our little friend, but we all saw the look of pleasure on his face at the horror he had set in motion. He was agitated when they fired him. His reputation preceded him. The violent creep was a member of what we crew members call the Dirty 30. They're the bottom of the barrel of the union books. You'd only see them when other capable people are all working. We were both working up high. That's what we call the dimly lit rafters high above the soundstage floor. These narrow catwalks are called the perms. The perms are the highest point on any soundstage. Green beds are lighting platforms suspended by chains below the perms. These details are essential to the story. I didn't want to be near the creep after the mauling, but my best boy asked me to work with this sullen roid head. No one would work with him, and I had a reputation for putting personalities aside and getting the job done. We started well enough. We agreed on aspects of the job and went to work. About 20 minutes later, I heard the lunatic running full speed towards me. I stood up in time to face him. I don't know what he would have done if I hadn't stood up in time. It's unclear what was going on in his twisted mind. The look on his face was psychotic. His eyes were filled with menace and rage. I was startled, and I asked what was wrong. He began yelling in my face about something so minor it was silly. I thought he was pranking me, and I smiled. He began to shake with rage. I realized that this was about to become violent. The last place I wanted to be in the middle of a fistfight was 60 feet above a soundstage floor, especially over something so minor. This guy wasn't worth losing my job or my life. I quickly stepped back and defused the ticking time bomb. I said, "I'll find somebody that you might prefer to work with." I began to climb the ladder to the green beds below to consult with my best boy. Suddenly, the madman jumped from the catwalk 15 feet above. He slid down one of the chains between myself and my boss. We were both shocked by his insane recklessness. "Don't walk away from me," he hissed. I tried to steady myself, then I remembered the puppy. I went from shock to fight or flight. This guy was definitely nuts, and I wasn't going to allow him to harm me. My clenched fist felt like magnets drawn to his pinched red face. Adrenaline coursed through me. My blood boiled as I waited for his attack. Luckily, the best boy intervened and told him to take a break. The brute reluctantly stomped off. Production immediately fired him. Everyone quickly forgot about the incident. There was too much to do and no time for idle gossip. About a week later, we heard a loud commotion from another show across from ours. People raced toward the sounds of terror. We stood outside the soundstage and watched the spectacle. Shortly after, 4 large security guards frog-marched the same maniac who attacked me the week before. He howled bloody murder as they threw him off the lot. Not surprisingly, the lunatic tried to throw a coworker out of the perms. He had the poor fellow by the legs and was trying to dump him over the wooden railing 50 feet to his certain demise. The sounds we heard were of the man screaming for his life. Several men grappled the roid-raging nut and brought the other fellow to safety. After the incident, this loathsome man changed his name and moved to Las Vegas. Nobody in Hollywood would hire him after this latest meltdown. Rumor has it that the Las Vegas PD had brought him in for questioning about a suspicious disappearance of a Las Vegas showgirl. She was a former girlfriend whom he had threatened in front of her friends. He was let go due to a lack of evidence. The body was never found. Beyond the neon-lit streets, the city of sin hides many secrets in that vast desert. He disappeared after that. Who knows where he might be today? Perhaps he's living next door to you.